Nicola Mann from Parentline Plus, and welcome to Got a Teenager TV. I'm here today with Suzie Hayman, parenting expert. Welcome, Suzie.
Hello, Nick. Thank you. Yes, I'm an agony aunt and I'm a trustee of Parentline Plus. And I think we're talking today about young people in the school system, aren't we?
We are. Looking at our message boards, lots of parents are talking about teenagers that are potentially reluctant to either go to school or when they get there finding it just quite difficult. So as a parent, how can you support them?
Yeah, it can be hard, I think, particularly during the teenage years when teenagers they have so much else to think about. There's all this whole stuff of developing, separating from parents, learning how to be, sort of apprentice adults. And it does mean that there's a lot of rebellion going around, a lot of I don't want to do that, and a lot of looking for the easy way. So what you'll often get is teenagers coming back showing very little motivation for getting on with their schoolwork, and sometimes even open defiance. They don't want to do it. I want to leave school, and it doesn't really matter. And a lot of parents, I think, do get in touch with us saying, we're having difficulty pushing them on.
So in that instance, short of picking them up and taking them to school and sitting them at their desk, what can you do as a parent to sort of help encourage them or to motivate them to get there? Is it bribery?
I think no, no, bribery doesn't work, and it's not a good lesson either. And absolutely, it is difficult. You can't. You might be able to pick up an 8-year-old and take them to school. Even that is difficult and unpleasant. But a hulking great teenager, no chance. This really has to be about what they feel and how they see the situation. And I think if you're just telling them, you do this because I say so, or you do this, and you give them sort of either vague threats or sort of the idea of, you'll thank me in the end, or you want a good job, won't you? That sort of thing, it's not encouragement actually, it's telling them what to do, and they're not really thinking it through. It goes straight over the head of them. Far better to actually sit down with them and actually have a conversation, maybe even with a piece of paper, and you start drawing up lists. Okay, you tell me, let's brainstorm. That means just having ideas and putting them all down at once and not eliminating any of them to begin with. Right, what are the pros and what are the cons? What are the fors and the against of going to school and doing your homework? And, what do you find difficult and what would make it easier? So you start drawing up lists of what you agree are the good bits and the bad bits about studying. And then out of that, you can start actually drawing up what helps you study, what would hinder you studying, and how can we actually deal with that?
And how can the school help?
I think schools, it is a question of parents and school and pupil actually being in partnership. And I think if your young person is definitely having difficulties, that might be time to certainly go to one of the parent-teacher evenings and talk about, there is a difficulty here. What are we going to do about it? And I think that's actually the key thing, is that the way you sort of set your mind on it is not that this is awful and they need telling off and punishing. It's that this is difficult. Hell, I remember how it was difficult. What would actually make it easier? And I'm a writer. I find it difficult sometimes to get down and actually do my work. And so what I've learned to do is to break down work in particular chunks. I need sort of a coffee as a reward every half hour or so. I know that I can do it far better if I get up very early and work, concentratedly for an hour and then have a break. There are ways that you talk it through with your teenager and say, okay, a pattern of either revision or homework, what works best for you, but also what works best on the feeling of the reward. And when I said don't bribe, I don't think you should be offering rewards such as, I'll give you money if you pass an exam, or take you on a holiday or whatever. What you do is little daily rewards, but the sort of rewards actually that are small and are about feeling good about yourself. So, yes, you can stop and have a coffee after 20 minutes of work. You can watch your favourite television programme at the end of having done all your homework. You reward yourself, and what you're encouraging is for the young person to actually start feeling good about themselves and feeling that they've achieved something. In other words, the reward is saying, I did good. And that's the best thing of all. Not to have someone else say, well done. And yourself be saying, yes, I did well. And that's what you're fostering in your teenager.